Hello, today's daily reading comes from the book of the Apocrypha. We are reading from the book of Jubilees, chapter 5, and it reads as follows. And it came to pass when the children of men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the angels of God saw them on a certain year of this Jubilee, that they were beautiful to look upon, and they took themselves wives of all whom they chose, and they bare unto them sons, and they were giants. And lawlessness increased on the earth, and all flesh corrupted its way, alike men and cattle, beasts and birds, and this and everything that walks on the earth. All of them corrupted their ways and their orders, and they began to devour each other. Lawlessness increased on the earth, and every imagination of the thoughts of all men was evil continually. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, and all flesh had corrupted its orders, and all that were upon the earth had wrought all manner of evil before his eyes. And he said that he would destroy man and all flesh upon the face of the earth, which he had created. But Noah found grace before the eyes of the Lord, and against the angels whom he had sent upon the earth, he was exceedingly angry, and he gave commandment to root them out of all their dominion. And he bade us to bind them in the depths of the earth, and behold, they are bound in the midst, and them they and are kept separate. And against their sons went out a command from before his face, and they should be smitten with the sword, and be removed from under heaven. And he said, My spirit will not always abide on man, for they also are flesh, and their days will be 120 years. And he sent a sword into their midst, that each should slay his neighbor, and they began to slay each other until they all fell by the sword and were destroyed from the earth. And their fathers were witnesses of their destruction. And after this, they were bound in the depths of the earth forever until the day of the great condemnation, when judgment is executed on all those who have corrupted their ways and their works before the Lord, and he destroyed all from their places, and there was not left one of them whom he judged not according to all their wickedness. And he made for all of his works a new and righteous nature, so that they should not sin in their whole nature forever, but should be all righteous, each in his kind always. And the judgment of all is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets in righteousness, even the judgment of all who depart from the path which is ordained for them to walk in. And if they walk not therein, judgment is written down for every creature and for every kind. And there is nothing in heaven or on earth, or in the light or the darkness, or the Sheol, or in the depth, or in the place of darkness, which is not judged. And all their judgments are ordained and written and engraved. In regard to all, he will judge the great according to his greatness, and the small according to his smallness, and each according to his way. And he is not one who will regard the person of any, nor is he one who will receive gifts, if he says that he will execute judgment on each. If one gave everything that is on the earth, he will not regard the gifts of the person of any, nor accept anything at his hands, for he is a righteous judge. And of the children of Israel it has been written and ordained, if they turn him and to righteousness, he will forgive all their transgressions and pardon all their sins. It is written and ordained that he will show mercy to all who turn from all their guilt once each year. And as for all those who corrupted their ways and their thoughts before the flood, no man's person was accepted save that of Noah's alone. For his person was accepted in behalf of his sons, whom God saved from the waters of the flood on his account. For his heart was righteous in all his ways, according as it was commanded regarding him, and he had not departed from aught that was ordained for him. And the Lord said that he would destroy everything which was upon the earth, both men and cattle, and beasts and fowls of the air, and that which moves on the earth. And he commanded Noah to make him an ark, that he might save himself from the waters of the flood. And Noah made the ark in all aspects as he commanded him. In the 27th Jubilee of years, of the 5th week of the 5th year, on the new moon of the first month, 13:07 a.m., and he entered in the 6th year thereof of 13:08 a.m. in the second month, on the new moon in the second month, until the 16th. And he entered, and all we brought to him into the ark, and the Lord closed it from without on the 17th evening. And the Lord opened 7 floodgates of heaven, and the mouths of the fountains of the great deep, 7 mouths in number. And the floodgates began to pour down water from the heaven 40 days and 40 nights. And the fountains of the deep also sent up waters, until the whole world was full of water. And the waters increased upon the earth. 15 cubits did the waters rise above all the high mountains, and in the ark was lift up above the earth, and it moved upon the face of the waters, and the water prevailed on the face of the earth 5 months, 150 days. And the ark went and rested on the top of Lubar, one of the mountains of Aaron. And on the new moon, in the 4th month, the fountains of the great deep were closed, and the floodgates of heaven were restrained. And on the new moon of the 7th month, all the mouths of the abysses of the earth were opened, and the water began to descend into the deep below. And on the new moon of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen. And on the new moon of the 1st month, the earth became visible, and the waters disappeared from above the earth in the 5th week in the 7th year, 1309 a.m. thereof. And on the 17th day in the 2nd month, the earth was dry. And on the 27th thereof, he opened the ark and sent out from its beasts the cattle and birds and every moving thing. Amen.